are sky high in Cleveland after their addition of Odell Beckham. He made the Pro Bowl 3 times with the Giants, but dealt with injuries the last 2 seasons. Odell has 44 touchdowns in 59 career games in the NFL. And Sean Merriman is back with us. So, will Odell be even better in Cleveland than he was with the Giants?
You know, any big wide receiver I've ever played with, ever seen, is always happy when the quarterback can get him the football.
Okay.
No matter what. I mean, a lot of people automatically assume because he's leaving New York and going to Cleveland or you're going to a small market team that a guy like Odell Beckham will be upset. No, he's happy anytime he can get the football. That was the problem in New York. It wasn't the fact of anything else other than Eli Manning couldn't get him the football.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield is not only going to get him the football, but is going to set him up in position to win games now. You look at the games that they lost last year, a couple close games the Cleveland Browns lost, to even contend in that division. You add Odell Beckham, they can get 2 or 3 games won by those close games they lost last year. So that's what makes guys unhappy. That's what makes guys not want to be in an organization when they're not winning. It has nothing to do with him and his off the field. And he's got, you know, he has a lot of emotion.
Right.
You know, which I can deal with guys like that all day. I can deal with guys complaining that they're not winning or even having fits and going crazy on the sideline. I can deal with all those things because that's really, they're just showing that I want to be here and I want to win. Everything's going to change for him. I think that's the best move that's been made this offseason.
Well, I'm glad you can deal with that because I couldn't deal with that.
For Cleveland, I'm saying for Cleveland, not for New York.
Okay.
I agree with what you said. I believe he's going to play better, Skip, because it's hard for me to believe. You poll every general manager and you ask them right now, who's a better quarterback, Baker Mayfield or Eli Manning? And I bet you to a man they say Baker Mayfield. What Odell does really well, Eli did not do well, which is push the ball down the field. And that's what you got to do.
Remember, Baker can buy a little time to push it, too, that Eli couldn't buy.
And the thing, Skip, there's only so many jailbreak screens and under routes you can run. If I'm a receiver, I need to get down the field. I see Julio getting down the field. I see D. Hopkins. I see Mike Evans. I see all these guys getting all these big plays down the field, and here I am catching slant routes. Here I am catching stop routes. Nah, bro. I believe he'll work better here. Hopefully him being, as you mentioned, Skip, being with Jarvis, who's his best friend, he can talk to him like, look, bro, I know you upset.
Calm down. That's what he'll tell him. Calm down. We got this.
And he knows, Skip, because he can't bring the same type of attitude to Cleveland because, okay, they're going to say, okay, it was Eli. The Giants didn't handle you correctly. That's on them. But if you go to another situation, okay, the common denominator in these 2 situations is you.
I'm with you. I think he's going to be much better in Cleveland because I think you're going to get less Odell in Cleveland and more Beckham. Beckham as in just another one of the wideouts because they got a track team. Little Callaway can just fly deep. And obviously Jarvis underneath, he's tough, he's physical, he's fearless.
You
he's
like
a
Higgins.
route runner. Yeah, I love Higgins because Baker loved Higgins last year and they were connecting, man. So all of a sudden, and Njoku, he had a connection with Baker down in the red zone. He did Njoku, and Njoku would take 3 or 4 shots and get to the goal line. I don't know, he might even have a little Sharpe in him. I don't know.
Slow down.
A little bigger. He's a little bigger.
He's a lot bigger.
Yeah, a lot bigger. So the point is that you can blend here in a good way. Because to me, Odell, because he made the greatest catch in the history of the world, he had to immediately start living up to that off the field and on the sidelines. Like he became a solo act for what was mostly a bad football team. His pregame warm-up was a better show than his in-game production often was. Seriously, it was. And in part because Eli just couldn't get him the football. In part because they didn't have second and third options that could take enough heat off him. That teams like against Dallas. Did I ever really fear Odell? Not really, because he was pretty quiet against Dallas. He beat him the one time in the rain up there with one catch. He made one catch, and he broke free just one shot.
Well, they tried, Skip. You know, they brought in Brandon Marshall. They brought in a lot of different guys to try to put outside to help him to relieve some of the pressure. Now this is the first time in his NFL career he has guys that can actually relieve some of the pressure in the passing game off of him.
And I think he's going to get swept up in the momentum of we're winning. We got a shot. We could win this division. We could break through and be the hottest team in the league, like the hot new thing. don't you think he's going to enjoy that? Do you think, because that's, you know this, that is more fun than being a solo act in the end, because the solo act leaves you empty.
Right. And they got two #1 wide receivers. Right. I mean, both of these guys are #1, but Jarvis, Landry knows he's #2. And I'm sure he doesn't.
But they will compete with each other.
Yeah, they'll compete, of course, and that's always best. It's almost
a positive way.
You got two guys you want to be the man no matter where you play at. You want to be the guy.
Yeah.
But it's the same situation you look at the Steelers. Juju now has to go and be #1. When you got two #1 wide receivers, two guys who can go out and contribute and produce on the field, somebody's going to be extremely happy, and just somebody's going to be happy.
Right.
Odell Beckham's going to be extremely happy. Landry's going to be happy because now you have someone to go and stretch the field, run these deep routes, take all the attention off you, and you're going to get the stats at the end of the day that you want in the first place.
You know, it's going to be different because, remember, they played 3 years together, he and Jarvis at LSU.
Right.
And it was Jordan Jefferson, and they got to the national championship game with Jordan Jefferson. They're throwing like 8 passes a game. You know, it's a running offense, play defense, run the football. And then they had Mettenberger, who was okay, but it was still more of a run-based play defense. So all of a sudden, Baker, what do I always say? He's a careful gambler. Right. Like, he doesn't throw that many interceptions, but he will take big risks. If he sees it and feels it, he will wing and prayer it. Trust me.
But, Sean, you know, understand this, but you played with Sean Phillips. But sometimes it's like, you know what? We're not going to let Sean Merriman beat us today. So we're going to slide the protection to him. We're going to chip him with the back. And then Phillips.
I think that was every day.
And then Phillips is getting the one-on-one.
Okay.
Now, Phillips has the big game. And now it's like, well, we got to slide the protection to him. And now you getting the one-on-one.
Absolutely.
And that's how you're going to have to approach it. Sometimes you're going to get the double coverage. And when the other guy goes bonkers, they're going to start rolling the coverage to him. And this will be your opportunity.
Okay, if they win and Odell catches 2 balls, is he going to be okay?
No.
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 I mean, he still wants to be the man.
Skip, I want to win. But can I be the man while we win? Can I get that 150? What's the difference? Why I got to catch 2 balls and we win? Why can't I catch 10 and we still win?
Well,
it can't happen at all.
I'm not sure that will work.
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you how the mind of a wide receiver thinks, Skip.
It is a different mindset.
They can be. He could turn into big play Shay. You know, one big catch.
Yeah, well, hold on. I turned into big
to the crib.
Yeah, I turned into big play Shay in year 13, year 14, year 12, stuff like that. Not in year 8, not in year 9. No. I need to be. Give me the rocks.
Well, they got Chubb and they got now Kareem Hunt after 8 games, so they'll also be handing the ball off.
They're going to run that thing to Chubb now because, you know, the weather get really bad in those areas in Cleveland and Cincinnati and Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
Got to run it.
Yeah.
But how excited are we to watch the Browns? I mean, that is just in itself.
To me, I think they become instantly the most exciting team to watch in football.
Yeah.
Because there's so many offensive weapons.
That's a mouthful you just said.
I hope
it is. They're going to be the most exciting team. Now, I don't know what their record's going to be at the end of the day, but they're going to be the most exciting team to watch in football this year.
You know what, Skip Bayless? They're going to get a couple of games with Jim Nantz and Tony Romo call their games. And you would have never thought that.
How long has it been since they've had a couple of their games? It's interesting.
Hard Knocks was just 1 year too early.
Let's just make it.
And it was still great.
The Raiders. I bet the Raiders get it this year.
Yep. You're probably right.
But
I'll watch
is it a
that.
good thing or a bad thing sometimes?
You know the Patriots are not going to get it. What are they going to say?
You couldn't handle
They already
that.
turned it down. Right? Then they asked.
Yeah, no Coach Belichick.
I don't think you'd watch Shannon. Too much Tom Brady.
No, they ain't going to say nothing. Patriots not going to say nothing. They blah.
Tom Brady is deep, man. You see him on Instagram.
Not blah.
Huh?
Look at Sean. Look at
All right, Sean, good to have you. Thank you for being here on this Friday. So the Steelers, well, they lost 2 big stars this week, but are they actually better? Are they a better team now? We'll discuss next.